Rethinking higher education outcomes for the future workforce. And ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and pleasure to be introducing to you all our esteemed panelists and speakers. First and foremost, Dr. Sibi, Shaji, Pro, Vice Chancellor, Garden City University, our session moderator. I beg your pardon. Dr. Sibi, Shaji, Pro, Vice Chancellor, Garden City University. A huge round of applause for ma'am. And joining her on stage, Mr. Anand Subramaniam, Chief Business Officer, India Ed Finance, Auxilo, Finserve Private Limited. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Let's welcome on stage Dr. Manish, Kothari, founder and president, ISBR Group of Institutions. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Please help me welcome on stage Dr. Y.M. Jayaraj, Pro Chancellor, BLDE, deemed to be university. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Professor Anant Chakradeo, Group Provost, MIT Group, India. Dr. Jayanthi V, Vice Chancellor, Sapthagiri NPS University. Let's welcome her on stage. Professor B.S. Satyanarayana, Vice Chancellor, Dayananda Sagar University. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. Balakrishna P. Shetty, Vice Chancellor, Malla Reddy Vishwa Vidyapeeth. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, last but definitely not the least, Dr. Shaleesha A. Stanley, Pro Chancellor, Jeppiaar University. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Over to Dr. Sibi, Shaji. Ma'am, please take over.
A very good afternoon to all of you. And to begin with this panel discussion, before I begin, I would like to appreciate the organizers of this event for giving us this platform to share the knowledge. Two things came to my mind initially when I was invited for this event. One is an elite cream of the academicians and from the industry, be it from the school or from higher education. The elite members join here for transfer of knowledge, sharing of knowledge, information. That's one side. And on the other side, I was really thinking of the great responsibility that is on each one of us moving forward, because the future of our nation is in our hands. So with this note, let me tell you, when the panel topics were shared with me, there were 5 different topics, and I was asked to select any one of my choice. My eyes was glued to this particular topic, that is degree to skills. I was not ready to take up the other topics, because this was something which is from my heart and which is something which we are following in our university, that is Garden City University in Bengaluru. So right from the beginning, right from the day a student comes into our campus, till the convocation or till graduation, till the student leaves the campus, skill is something which is very, very close to our heart, and we actively work on it. To quote a few examples from our university that we are following, we have a concept called management trainee. Right from the day a student comes into the campus, we are giving them an opportunity to work with us. Of course, there is a stipend given to them. In addition to that, the student learns from the campus itself. Before they leave the campus, not just the degree that they are earning, they learn how to work in a team, they learn how to collaborate, they learn how to face challenges. All these are the training that we give for students right from semester 1, and not compromising their education. Of course, they do a homework, they work extra hours to cope up with their studies as well. So we have seen that these students who complete their management training in our campus, they excel well when compared to the others. So that is something which is really remarkable, and that is the skill development that we are giving. Having said this, let me share some of the questions with my panel members so that we can take it further. Over to Mr. Anand Subramaniam. So what do you think the role of industry should play in shaping skill-driven education pathway? What do you think the industry, what is the contribution from the industry's point of view on this education? Over to you, sir.
Thank you. First of all, thank you. And it's an honor to be there amidst such a light set of people out here. I think the question is, how do we look at the situation right now in India? Take back about 30 years back, when the technology boom started in India. We didn't have that kind of a technology background. But then the ecosystem built up, and subsequently today, the most glamorous job, if you ask anybody, it's in the IT sector. Take any engineer for matter, mechanical, industrial, civil, end of the day becomes a software engineer, because that is an aspirational kind of an outlook people have. And there has been an ecosystem which has been built so that from school, college, everywhere they are trained on how to program, how to get into this industry. But then right now we are in a very different segment with the government focus on Make in India. We want to diversify into manufacturing. Do we have the same set of skill sets that are required? You go and speak to any guy in the industry who is hiring, he will say, I'm not getting the right candidate. You go to any kid on the road, he says, I'm not getting any job. It's a very simple mismatch there. I've got a degree, but there is a job, I'm not equipped for that. And as we see today, the entire industry, the same manufacturing or a mechanical engineering, what you study in college, need not be what the industry is practicing. Take, for example, automobile engineering. The entire ICE engine is off now. It's EV which is moving in today. Do we have a curriculum which is educating people fully on EV engines right now? Do people get hands-on training on how the EV is going to evolve over a period of time? Now, it is not possible for every college to put up a setup there. This is where I feel the industry should step in. I think there has to be a collaboration between industry, academia, and the students, in the sense the students should first of all be interested in that line of business. There is no glamour created around, let's say, if I have to be a civil engineer, if I have to be probably somebody in mechanical space. Why is it not there? Food processing industry, medical support system, wellness industry. Is there a glamour around it? No. IT industry, there is a super glamour. So there is a beautiful ecosystem which is built. Banking industry, if you look at it, there is a good training backup which they are doing. Not all companies are capable of doing it. So my perspective from the industry is that every segment, be it electronics, be it defense, be it semiconductor. Semiconductor is going to hire 3 lakh direct and 10 lakh indirect employees in this country. How many people are getting educated on those lines? None. The fact is, they need to form a kind of education parameter, speak to the nodal educational government setup and with the college, collaborate with them and set the training center. Like in one of the previous panels, somebody said, we need to give them a skill certificate for those people, train them. First of all, training student is secondary. The training should first happen with the principal, that is basically the educators. They have to train all the teachers in the college or the professors in the college to tell them how this industry offers them a very good career prospect. The professor can then pass it down to the students and make it interesting for them. Continuous internship, continuous training, on-the-job exposure from the college days, even from the school days, would greatly help. I believe, ma'am, the industry should invest money on this, collaborate with the schools, colleges. For example, Chennai is an automotive center. Bengaluru, Karnataka is electronics. I think the colleges should put up a setup there, should have all infrastructure available in those specific industries because the industry is nearby. Collaborate with them, get them to sponsor those machines, the latest machines. It's all now automatic. What is the point in studying something and getting into an office where you find the machine itself is very different? So they should put it across in the campuses, get the students trained, and it becomes a lot more easier for to move in and then take it forward from there. I think it has to be collaborative, training the professors first of all, who can then subsequently training the students, and then putting in the investment in terms of the setup, the equipments, the machineries inside the college campuses, so that the colleges can pass it on to the students who can then move into the industry easily. In terms of academia, in terms of how the course contents to be developed, I think I will leave it to the other esteemed panel to add on to that. I may not be the right person for that. But thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. I'm absolutely with you because in the college setup or in the university campus, there is a buzzword called Industry Academia Connect. So what the universities are doing is they are inviting people from the industry and giving them an outlook on how the industry platform is for the students. So that connect will really work for the students. I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Moving forward to the next question to Dr. Shaleesha Stanley. Madam, what do you think that how can experiential learning models like internships, projects, startups transform students' readiness? We have, apart from the classroom teaching, we have internships, and we have projects, startups where we give more activity for the students. In fact, we give only maybe 15 to 20% time for classroom teaching, and rest all is dedicated for all activities like this. How do you think it can transform a student's life?
I'd just like to one moment interrupt. We have with us Dr. Balakrishna P. Shetty, Vice Chancellor, Malla Reddy Vishwavidyapita. Sir, please join us on stage, one of our esteemed panelists.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, over to you.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. It's an excellent, amazing question. And first, I thank Dr. Sibi for wonderfully coordinating and putting these questions in a sequential manner. And I thank Ardor Chand for inviting me here to share my experiences. So I would go with the question like experiential learning is very much contributing to the success and outcome of students' educational programs. But I would slightly differ from the industry view. Like, experiential learning means all the theory and laboratory courses are integrated now in the curriculum. For example, if a student studies C laboratory is there, Python laboratory is there, biochemistry lab is there, embedded system lab is there. So every theory is integrated with the laboratory. So those students experience the theory through what they are doing in the laboratory. So experiential learning is happening in the institutions. That is one. Second thing is, the internships, capstone projects, all are integrated into the curriculum, and the model curriculum or autonomous or universities. So, it is integrated into the curriculum, and credits are awarded for that. Extra credits are given even for internships, assignments, and students participating in startups, hackathons, etc. So, I would 100% say that this definitely contributes for students' involvement in teamwork, and this is improving their confidence, and this is improving students' communication as well. But when we say that, are they ready for industry? Okay, are they taking up or imbibing the skill sets which are ready for industry? It is absolutely not 100%. Because we know, like one statistics I would like to put to all of you, because we are in the top positions, like might be we could influence or the education, business people, like this statistics is very important. See, like this is taken from AISHE. See, like engineering, AICTE and on AISHE. 1.5 million students enroll themselves into engineering every year in India. Okay, so this engineering means we know that there are different domains, and the same way 29.7 millions of students are enrolling themselves into arts, science and management in India every year. So put together 32 million students are enrolling themselves into higher education. But if you see, they keep this on one side, but you see the industry, okay, so registered industry data, if you taken from 2024 Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Okay, so this is cross-checked with ArdorComm data. Okay, so and CII gives again validation of these industries. 19 lakhs of industries are actively registered. See, 32 million students getting enrolled for higher education and 19 lakhs of industries in India. So for us, each and every student should work in an industry for an internship for a minimum period of 15 days to 3 months or 6 months. Is really a challenging thing. Like every student, according to the domain area, that if they have to work in an industry, is really a challenging thing. So keep this on one side. So let us leverage into the government schemes like Startup India, Ideathan, Atal incubation facilities, and all other facilities which are offered by the government. And the second option is this: we need to establish industry supported labs. Support in the sense, I don't mean here as financial, like we could invite industries to give us technical expertise. This would happen only with the relationship that we built with a company, not by MOU signing or having a guest lecture or an industrial visit. We could establish industry supported lab. That is number one. Second is establish the available labs inside the premises from advanced level, from basic level to advanced level. Okay, so that lies in our hands. Okay, we can equip our laboratories to advanced level. And the last but important thing is invest in faculty. Okay, investing in faculty is the priority, and that would definitely give good skill set for the students, and they would be industry ready in the future. Down the line, if faculty members are not taken care properly, properly in the sense they should be sponsored for industry visits, they should be sponsored for paper publication, international conferences, faculty development program, okay, and only because faculty are the one who spends the entire time with the students in the campus. So if we invest in faculty and advance our laboratory facility, then have good tie-ups with industry, definitely experiential learning would be successful in these students. Okay, ma'am. I hope this would...
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I very well vouch with what madam has told, because we see that in our university, we some of the classes, some of the theory classes we conduct in the form of a workshop. So it is not theory, we have it in one room and then we go to the lab for another activity. So theory come practice, so it's like a workshop that we conduct, so they get real experience out of what they are learning. So experiential learning today is very, very important for our students today. Okay, moving ahead to the next question to Dr. Manish Kothari. Sir, how can higher education strike a balance between degrees and skill-based outcome? Yes, degree is important. Along with that, how do you think you can balance and get a skill-based outcome? What is your thought on this?
Thank you, madam. I think before I go ahead, I think every education institution needs an opportunity to come together. And there's someone who acts as a spokesperson institutions together. I think we need to give a great round of applause for Anand, a good friend of our institution, and I think it's been years he has been working hard to see that all of us come on a common platform and deliberate. The moment we start deliberating, I think that's the starting point. So Anand, this is for you, and from all of us in the Education Institute for supporting us and bringing us on common platforms. I know there's a lot of hard work to bring every one of us together. So, thank you. Before I go ahead, just 3 days ago, I was in Delhi. I was one of the speakers in the UK-India dialogue. And during this meeting, we had about 50 international universities, the top 50 universities of UK present there. And we had the Indian institutions on a common dialogue. And to our shock and surprise, out of these 50 plus universities of UK that were present there, 20 have already gone ahead signing an MOU and setting a base in India. So what you heard 2 years ago, which was one university coming in Gift City, is now just 20 plus UK universities that have already come into India. They have set up base and a few are starting their initiations this year and the next year. Now look at it, where do we stand? If UK just has 20, you add France, you add US, you add other countries, Southeast Asia, I really do not know if we could understand the type of competition that is going to be there for Indian education institutions and Indian faculty in the days to come. So this topic, which talks about degrees to skills, is very important before competition fades us away. Now after my visit there and coming here to India, coming here to Bangalore, which is a city of opportunities, I started evaluating where we stand. And here are a few percentages that gives us some astonishing numbers and which are an opportunity to the international universities coming to India. Only 47% of schools in India offer skill-based courses. Forget that. Only 29% of the students opt for them. That's the first one. This only showcases that 10th and above, there's so much of space for people to offer skill-based courses. Look at the industry. 88% of India's workforce is engaged in low competency occupations. That means they are doing work which is 50% below their capacity and investing their time in corporates. Look at this one, which was put up by the Times of India. India's employability amongst graduates has risen from 34% in 2013 to 55% in 2024. That means you still have 45% remaining to be employed in the right space and in the right manner. Forget that. Let us talk about the opportunity which is open up for education institutions. The median age in India is 28, whereas 65% of the population is in India is 35, the best in the world. So we are living in a golden era in this country, and it's time for each one of us to act. Now coming to the main question that was asked, it's about, do we give up degrees and look at skills, or do we combine these both? So before I go ahead, let me tell you, it is degrees that matter. And in fact, if you look at it, it is degrees with skills that matter. And if you suddenly shift your focus only to skill, your long-term vision is going to be a myopia, a short-term vision which you are looking at. Now, how it is to be done and what is need to be done, I think we have at ISBR Business School developed a model. And this model took about 3 years of time to come into shape. And it has worked wonders. Let me give you this model, what has happened. Point number 1. We have created a 6 level of mentorship program. Now in this mentorship program, what has happened is, a student when he comes to the institution, now this is required to see that skills contribute towards the degree that you are taking ahead. Now what we have done is, a student that comes to the institution is not only mentored by his classes, by his seniors, by his faculty, by the corporate, but also by the international faculty. So there's a 6th level of mentorship that has been developed, and to see that the skill is built in the institution, in the students. And going forward, what we have also done is, we have seen that the outcomes have changed from just being monitored on exam-based outcome to skill-based outcomes. And I have a few examples which will throw light on how things are going ahead. In the finance specializations, just to take example, where a student suppose needs to understand financial management or capital structure, we have gone ahead and seen that the students run live trading simulations with Bloomberg terminals and NSE terminals. Let's go to marketing. If the concept for the student was consumer behavior and brand strategy, a skill outcome that has been attached to it is to see that a student designs a digital marketing campaign with the use of Meta or use the use of Google Ads. In the case of human resources, where the outcome of the degree was understanding HR theories or labor laws, we have gone ahead and started running mock interviews and assessment centers, designing performance management dashboards by the students, and they are presented to the industries before his student goes out. In the operations and supply chain, a degree outcome, if it was about production planning, lean management, the whole case was shifted to learning how companies like Amazon and Flipkart have started working using AI. In entrepreneurship and innovation, where a student has to grasp the finance of entrepreneurs, we have seen that a student starts his own incubation centers in the institution and working in the institution with the faculty being their mentor and their guide. I think way forward is investment on faculty. Scale up your faculty not to just teach in the classrooms, but to see that the degree that they provide is skill-based and moving forward, job-enriched. A faculty is the fulcrum on which the whole concentration should be. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well said that there should be a balance and the degree should be provided with skills imbibed in it. Yeah, that reminds me about the curriculum or the syllabus that is being taught. I am again glad to say that in our university, our Chancellor has always told us that you need not wait for one cycle to revise your curriculum. Depending on the requirement, depending on the industry needs, we can change our curriculum, even syllabus, conduct a board of studies, even every 6 months, if you want, you can go and change. So that is the kind of change that we see in the curriculum, where we include this skill into education and we give away the degrees with skills. Thank you, sir. That gives me a cue to the next question to Dr. Jayanthi. Madam, what reforms are needed in curriculum to integrate employability and life skills? Employability on one side, life skills on other sides. What kind of change in curriculum is required to integrate and get both the outcomes? Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. So, when we speak about the curriculum, so like years back, that is around 20 years back or 30 years back, what people used to say is, example, when we tell, my parents used to say, either you become a doctor or an engineer. And next point is, they say, you have to be employed. You have to work in either the government, or you should be like in such a way that retire in a very calm atmosphere. You have to just earn. This was the only two things which was told by my parents, probably with few of them. So that time, my idea was, okay, I have to get a very good degree. Then after that, take a good platform, get a good earnings, settle my life, work for someone. Because they didn't tell me you have to be a leader. You have to start a entrepreneurship. Never had heard about this, my mother or my parents telling this. So this is how it started. When I entered a medical college, so I'm a doctor. So when I entered a medical college, that time the doctors, very well-known doctors, used to say that you have to become the best, either the surgeon or take a general medicine or whatever it is, treat the patient very nicely. So my idea is, if I become a surgeon, my psychology, that is the hand should be very clean and it should be very neat, and the automotion, that is the movement, should be the best. This is what came in my mind. But later, what happened is, we started, this is what would have been told by many of them. Later the doctors, this is an example I'm giving because I'm a doctor. Later we started working for a hospital or to a medical college or whatever it is. But later it came that if in case we were trained by using the other things, that is the logistics part, the business management part, the robotic part, the animation part, because all this, if in case it was added, probably I would have been, I or the doctors would have been a very good administrator without appointing an outside MBA graduate to run a hospital. So this is how it is. So who is lacking? It is not the teacher who is lacking, nor the student. The lacking is in the curriculum. So what a curriculum needs is, whether it's an engineering or whether it is a medical or it is a management, we have to see to that a cafeteria approach should be given. So students should be given a main menu along with other things. So like when we see in the hospitals also, the lawyer doesn't come and teach. The forensic experts teach, and suddenly if there is an MLC, what happens? The people, that is the patient attenders, bounce on us because few of the curriculum doesn't say about how to handle the crisis. What are the attitude, what is the curriculum needs us, the communication skills, the coordination skills, all this is lacking. So what I say is, in a curriculum, so what we have to include is, once the person finishes his course, he has to be in such a way that he should be able to adapt. For example, like when we do the interviews, a person with a gold medalist comes for the interview, very good gold medalist, having everything, but with not much knowledge about the robotics. So now the companies, that is the corporate hospitals, will ask in the interview again, many of them will be sitting in the interview panel, say that, are you well versed with the robotic surgery? Have you done robotics? This person, gold medalist throughout, done everything. It is not his mistake. He has excelled in all the exams with all the gold medals, but he fails. But another person who after this will be simultaneously doing some of the apps, learning some of the apps, but not very good in his studies, will learn the apps and he excels. So what is the mistake? It is a mistake of the curriculum. So I don't say it's a mistake, it is not incorporating into the curriculum. So what I say is, into the curriculum, based on whether it is, now AI has started. So since AI has started, now we have to incorporate, since it is an university, we'll have the engineering on one side, we'll have the business studies on other side, the applied science on other side, the medical on other side, but we have to incorporate, see to that those students come over here, these students go over there. A platform like how Chancellor has created, like that platform has to be created, and all of us sit and study, make a panel discussion and make a curriculum where everyone, when they come out, they should be the best. And similarly, the pandemic has really taught us a lesson. During the pandemic, many of us, like some of us knew what is computer, what is all this PPTs, Excel, all that, but we were not into the digital era. So that time, when again, as I said, many of the well-versed faculties, when we told them, we have to now teach using the digital platform. So they were surprised. They said, how can we teach? How can we do the surgeries? How can we explain the surgeries? How can we do the assessments? So that day, we hired a faculty from the computer science, asked them to teach us the technologies, and we could really perform, not only our college, I think across the globe, the assessments was performed. So change for the change has to be done. So we have to see what is the vision, what is the future. Today AI is there. After 20 years, we don't know what is going to be there. So we cannot, and we have to adapt. So continuous learning by the faculty, as both the panelists said, the faculty should be trained, faculty to be taught, then continuous assessment should be there. Even the faculty should be trained in how to use that, and assessment of them also, the feedback to be taken from everyone, and we have to improve. And we cannot say that, and we should be the lifelong learner till the end. And next is, one more thing what we say is, like innovations is needed, research is needed. Nowadays, the students, when we say research, they only for the degree sake, they do the research and they either do the thesis or dissertation. But we have to set a platform and a curriculum saying that it should be published in PubMed or Nature or whatever it is. The platform should be created, the marks should be given based on that. Not only on the curriculum should not be based only on the degree, but also on the other skills. So other skills, like apart from this degree, the skills which has the values, the ethics, the communication, all this should be incorporated, and this will create a better citizen, a better person, and he'll be a lifelong learner, and he or she will be a best leader across the globe and can mark in the globe. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas on how curriculum has to be tuned to incorporate employability and skills. Running short of time, I will move to the next question to Professor Anand. how can institution measure and certify skills beyond traditional academic degrees? I'll repeat, sir. How can institutions measure and certify skills beyond traditional academic degrees? Over to you, sir.
So I'll be very brief and short. So here we are talking about measuring and certifying the skills. I think we need to go away with the concept of CGPA itself. So can we, or probably we'll have to supplement it by 2 more GPAs. Can we have DGPA, which is Development Grade Point Average? Okay, or can we have SGPA, which is not Semester Grade Point Average, but it is Skill Grade Point Average, like what NIRF does. Can we analyze the whole, result in such a way that we give a candidate with CGPA, DGPA, and SGPA? That can be one way to, measure. Second, in schools, we are used to get feedback. As we grow, we used to get marks. So can we go back in higher education also from marks to feedback? I think instead of mark sheet, we should give feedback sheet. And that is how we can talk about skills acquired or the skills intended and acquired. Third and very important thing is certifications can be converted into skill grade point average. Like there are many hackathons which take place. There are many robocons which take place. There are Baha, Formula 1, so many competitions which happen. So can we replace those competitions by credits? And can we give those credits in terms of skill grade point average? So entire, system of competitions can be incorporated as credited competitions, and then skill grade point average can be given. One more thing, I'm strong opposer of pen and paper tests. So if the freedom is given to me, I'll do 2 things in my life. I'll remove all the benches from the school, from the classroom, and I'll remove pen and paper examination. So it should be replaced by, Viva, juries, project examinations, caselets. It should be completely replaced by juries. Then don't have summative assessment. It's not required. It's not required at all. We should focus only on the continual assessment, and that's it. Last day should be celebration of what they have done instead of putting them under pressure and asking them to go for pen and paper test. So summative assessment should be removed, and it should be replaced by continuous assessment. Then only we can give some weightage to skills. How to implement quick, and then I'll stop. We should go for project first approach. So replace all your curriculum by projects, and then projects will decide which courses are to be taken. Courses will decide which faculty is to be taken, and that is how the scheduling and timetable can be done. So it can be in completely reverse way. Student can join. Another way is student, when joining a degree program, can join with a problem statement. So this is the problem which I want to solve in my 4 years of undergrad. You give me whatever degree you want, I want to solve this problem. So that is where we need to have this collaborative and multidisciplinary education into picture. Third and very important thing is competency mapping at every stage. After every 6 months or after every 1 year, we should have competency mapping and check whether the competencies which were intended for are arrived at or are achieved or not, and what corrective measures. So personalized learning has to be focused. And most important and last is, we should create a system based on toll gates. So there are prerequisites for every activity which they go for. So we should have toll gates. Unless they cross that toll gate, they are not allowed to go for next level. So instead of first year, second year, third year, fourth year, we can say level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 8, and you're done. So some things like that can be incorporated to have more weightage to skills. Most importantly, we need to change and relook at the definition of skill itself. To what are we going to call skills? I think if that is redefined, we'll be close to whatever we want to achieve.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing some of the thought-provoking ideas for total revamping of our education system so that the assessment mode is more on the skills. Thank you, sir. That gives a cue to my next question to Professor Satyanarayana. Sir, what do you think, especially the need to rethink assessment pattern, especially the formative assessments, for effective adaptation to measure the changing skill needs in line with emerging technology? What is your take on this?
First of all, good afternoon, everyone. I'm sure we are in between lunch and all of you and maybe taking extra time. But first of all, once again, I would like to thank Mr. Chandan for this opportunity. It's a wonderful conference and very well curated. I know the time is short. Maybe I'll just sort of try not say anything that others have already mentioned, but still give a brief context and talk about formative assessment and how do we want to change. I mean, we are looking at, whole world is looking at changing. India alone, as we said, I mean, the September 15 Niti Aayog report says that by 2035, we will be an 8.5 trillion economy. And if we are to go by AI enabling and all the new technology adaptation, productivity increase should lead to something like 1.4 trillion new development could come from knowledge-based activity between productivity and AI, innovation and next generation technologies, about 500, depending on how fast, say 500 billion. For all this to happen in the era of the knowledge economy, education has to enable. But then education somewhere, so far India progressed in spite of the education. I mean, our education was irrelevant. But now for once, we are all becoming very relevant. And for this, and just if you're looking at education market, what is it that higher education is catering to? What is it that the industry wants? If we say the market is about 10 trillion, and again, if higher education is supposed to be 45% of it, the remaining is supposed to be learning and development, corporate education, and also lifelong learning, as already others have mentioned. So therefore, for all this to happen, therefore the education first has to concentrate on delivering education for different types of people. On one side, the key people who have to first learn and who are the slowest to learn are the teachers, and they need to be enabled, as others have already mentioned. And so these teachers are the baby boomers. And then there is, of course, the Gen X, then there is the millennials, then Gen Z, and Gen Alpha. So now, between all of them, the whole world is looking at a VUCA world and a BANI world. A VUCA world is where you are seeking vulnerability, uncertainty, ambiguity, and all the complexities that associate with it. Then this is for this the baby boomers and the previous X. But when you come to the new millennials partly and Gen Z and Alpha, they are in the BANI world. They are brittle, anxious, non-linear in their thought, and incomprehensible even. So now all of them have to be integrated and the education has to be given. And this education, as Professor mentioned, is rightly no more, the type of concentration cannot be for continuous assessment. And it cannot, it cannot be the summative exam. It has to be continuous. So though continuous assessment was introduced way back in 70s in India, unfortunately, it was a glorified summative. When you give a quiz, you don't even know whether the answer was right or wrong. Once you have got a mark, however, you would. So it was sort of, the whole of the education was to know. Now it is to know, to understand, to learn, to use it for life. And for that to happen, that's where the formative, I'll just take another couple of minutes. We are coming into formative assessment. The moment you come to formative assessment, whatever the type of education we are giving, whatever the accreditation, you see between even the countries under the Washington Accord, the number of attributes of accreditation varies from 3 to 33. But what are they doing? All of them come under knowledge base, professionalism, problem solving, design, and work environment. Though if somebody has 3, now recently even our accreditation norm has been changed, and numbers of parameters have changed. But all of this, so how can we improve all of this change in an education? That means foundational skill knowledge, that is whatever the subject and the specialization, the characteristics, critical thinking, creative thinking, analytical thinking, problem solving, to life skills. Communication, personal communication, interpersonal team skills, language skills, all of them come under that. So now all of this can only happen, as I said, through project-based education. And the project-based education, suppose I'm learning cycling, if I fall or my guy, whoever is, you say, no, please sit straight. Or if I'm driving, I'm in a car, they will say, no, you see, you have to press accelerate. So it is for me, every education instant is enabled. So whether it is the quiz, whether it is the, assessment. So key is now, can we now forget about independent subject assessment, project-based learning, and in this project-based learning, you're all the teachers join together, link the foundation to a context. Because, and then The students are made to work together with questions for each subject, but they still work on integrated projects. And the data they bring in is also enabling the teacher to do a research, whether it is solving the next door neighbor social problem, or whether it's a MSME technology issue, or whether it's a blue sky research. So the moment we bring in project-based learning, assessment at every stage, enabling learning, that is what essentially, whether it's a quiz, so in the middle of a class, teacher takes, today automated AI you can give a quiz 5 minutes on the mobile and then say, these are the answers you have, so my next session, you need to understand this. If you have not understood, so formative re-ensuring of learning has happened. The moment we start moving like this, I think now we are saying, we have ensured foundation and correlation, and therefore that again we say, how do we sort of now come to say course assessment for skill transfer? Again, skill, because today knowledge life cycle, I'll just say half a minute. Knowledge life cycles have today reduced to 36 months. Gone are the way iron age 200 years, semiconductor age 75 years, carbon age 15, 30 years. But then today it is 36 months. Skill capability life is further reduced to 20 or 24 days, like medical tablet. The skill lines are even further reduced. But then the education has to have knowledge, skill, value and attitudes all to be given together. So just skilling per se, as Mr. Manish mentioned, is not good enough. You have to have knowledge, skills, values and the attitude. Finally, the attitude is the key for the adaptation of the change. So therefore, I think the whole education, and again, as I said, the first people who have to learn now is the teacher. They will have to accelerate their learning in the age of AI, when knowledge life is. So the moment we come to project-based learning, and in every semester, that is not end of the semester, have an assessment matrix which includes the foundation skills, the critical, all the sort of characteristic skills, and also the lifelong skills. And all of them assessed in a project-based setting every time, and in every presentation, you not only make a presentation in English, but you also have a 2-minute presentation in your own vernacular language also. Every aspect of NEP can be included. So in that project-based activity, and every time the context changes, foundation don't change. So you can add to the next context. So the skill will also be learned. The knowledge for innovation, problem solving can be added. The moment we start working like this, I think we will be doing innovation, entrepreneurial capability, skilling and upskilling and reskilling, as Toffler said. All that could happen. And just to say that these are not simply some talk. Just in the last 15 years, personally, wherever we have had opportunity to head organization in academics, we have able to create 1,000 crores of next generation technology, including semiconductor manufacturing to satellites to electrical propulsion to medical implants, agriculture to environment. So I think it's absolutely feasible the moment we go in with a design thinking, a systems approach, and bring in project-based learning so that every class equally enables the teacher and the student. Sky is the limit for us as India becomes a global leader once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was like an encyclopedia. Sir, thank you. Sir rightly mentioned about design thinking, where empathy is more required for skill-based learning over the rote learning. My last question to Dr. Balakrishna Shetty, sir. Sir, what is your take on rethinking higher education outcomes for the future workforce?
Thank you very much. I was listening to all these stalwarts on higher education, and let me summarize in 2 minutes. Okay, I'll give you some classic examples here. As a Vice Chancellor, I had to address almost 400 MBBS students. They had just come after 12th standard. They were all sitting in front of me. And my principal, as usual, to the Vice Chancellor, they told me to address the students. And I started. First question I asked them, the first MBBS question, I asked them what is the blood nerve supply of the biceps muscle. Nobody answered. Then I asked the second year MBBS question, what is the bacteria responsible for typhoid fever? Nobody answered. Then I asked the fourth, that time my principal, my medical superintendent, everybody said, there are only 10 plus 2 students. How can you ask them questions of first MBBS, second MBBS? I told them, wait for a minute. Then again I asked the third question, which was a final year question. Nobody answered. Then I said, fastest finger first, take out your mobile phone. First question, what is the nerve supply of a biceps? So many hands. Sir, musculocutaneous nerve. Jayanthi is here, our anatomist. Sir, musculocutaneous nerve. What is the second year? What is a bacteria for typhoid? Salmonella typhi. Finished. And what is the drug of choice for leukemia? Immediately. Everybody answered. All 4-year MBBS, 5-year MBBS questions they answered. Next question to the students. What will you do for the next 4.5 years? You have covered the curriculum. We have covered the entire curriculum. We have covered everything. So what I am telling is there something called curriculum or is there something called syllabus? I tell all my faculty members here, You need not cover the syllabus at all. You should uncover the syllabus as much as possible. I'll tell you. I tell my student, it is not syllabus, it is syllabus, not necessary. I'll tell you, one thing I'll tell my students, when I ask the questions, if any student stands up, 25 marks. If he opens the mouth, another 25 marks. 50 out of 100, he is passed. He has passed the examination. You believe it or not, that's what we need to do. Initially, we are thinking of rank. Ranks are gone. Then we are thinking of publish. Research, gone. Now we are talking about skill, reskill, upskill, all those. So many, if I talk too much, it may be from ChatGPT. I don't want to talk anything about this, okay? I don't want to give a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 100 stories or 100 steps for success. So I tell you, it is not necessary to cover the syllabus. I'll tell you, when our students learned the maximum, tell me, from 2019 to 2024, credits to COVID virus. Credits to COVID virus. You believe it or not, our students became world champions in chess. Our students did so many things, and our students stopped thinking, looking at east or west. East or west, our student is the best, my dear faculty members. Remember, you give a chance to my students, they will do whatever you can think of. You can't even think of. First of all, we need to release our students from the classrooms. Our speaker also told them, don't tell them, read this, read and come. And you can give any assessment. So our students are very, very intelligent. If our students can perform the maximum in the US and UK, why can't they perform here? Who are the hurdles here? Sorry to say that. We are the hurdles for our students. Yeah, I want to do this industry internship. My teacher said, so no, you don't do this. No, you are not eligible. Whatever problems you have in your institution, give it to your student, he will give the best solution. I'll give you the simple example. Lord Ganesha, Shiva cut Lord Ganesha's hand. You know that story, everybody knows. And he asked for one head all over the world, and he got elephant's head. One first-standard boy asked, so one head was there only, the cut head was there only. Why should you search for so many heads all around and transport that head from all over? You have to put it in a, freezer and bring it because it should be viable. One head was there only, you can put it in, immediately transplanted that head. We don't know the answer for such questions. So our students are extremely intelligent, my dear faculty members, vice chancellors. Everybody will tell you, give them a scope. You ask them to present something in the classroom. You ask them to give that lecture in the classroom. You allow them. It is not just lectures you are giving. You have given enough lectures because this is all British kind of teaching. We keep on giving lectures. We don't make our students to work and implement our ideas. You give their chance, my student will be the best, and will show that he'll be the best, and he'll be a world champion. Just like the most intellectual game, Indians are the world champions. If you take 10 most best players in the world, first 5 will be the Indians. And I think we can do the same thing everywhere, provided you give a chance, my student. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chandan, for that.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, our students has the maximum caliber and capacity to do lot of things. They think out of the box, and they come out with lot of innovative ideas. So we need to give room for them. Having said that, I thank all the panel members who are here, who shared their ideas. I know it is time up. Let us move from degree-centric approach to skill-centric approach. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sibi Shaji, Pro Vice Chancellor, Garden City University, our session moderator. Thank you very much for efficiently handling the session. Can we give her a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? And of course, our highly esteemed panelists, like ma'am said, the cream of educationists are here. A huge round of applause, and thank you so much for sharing all your valuable inputs. Let's hear it for them, ladies and gentlemen. And to do the honors of presenting our esteemed panelists with a token of appreciation, I'd like to welcome on stage Mr. Krishna Kumar, Vice President Sales, Microsoft. Let's welcome him with a round of applause. First and foremost, requesting our session moderator to kindly come ahead and accept this token of appreciation, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sibi Shaji, huge round of applause for her. Request Mr. Anand Subramaniam, Chief Business Officer, India Ed Finance. Auxilo Finserve Private Limited to kindly accept this token of appreciation. Thank you very much for your time and valuable inputs with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Manish Kothari, Founder, President, ISBR Group of Institutions. A huge round of applause for him. Thank you, sir, for being here with us, for your valuable time and inputs. Dr. Shaleesha A. Stanley, Pro-Chancellor, Jeppiaar University. Thank you, ma'am, for being here with us. Huge round of applause for her. Here's a small token of appreciation from us to you. Professor Anand, Chakradeo Group Provost, MIT Group, India. Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts. Well, most of us agree with what he said. Especially the students would love to hear that. Yes, get away with the exams. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jayanthi V, Vice Chancellor, Sapthagiri, NPS University. Let's hear it. A huge round of applause for Madam. Thank you for your valuable inputs, ma'am. Professor B.S. Satyanarayana, Vice Chancellor, Dayananda Sagar University. Thank you, sir. Very rightly said. So many things in such a short span. Huge round of applause for him. Really loved having you here with us. Last but definitely not the least, Dr. Balakrishna P. Shetty, Vice Chancellor, Mallareddy Vishwavidyapeeth. Thank you, sir, for joining us here. Thank you for all your valuable inputs and your time. A huge round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.